So Dan, tell me, well, you teach your daughter how to play hurling, right?
Yeah, camogie for girls. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the difference between teaching this physical skill and you teach economy? I suppose they're different.
In some ways they are, because obviously this is, a physical skill, but in many ways when we think about it, they're actually quite similar. What I mean by that is, when we think about this when we see it first, it's a stick.
Yeah.
It's a ball.
And a ball.
But actually, they're not just a stick and a ball. This is a hurling, this is a slitter. And when we start thinking about it that way, we're actually introducing the children into a culture. It's an Irish game, it's a national game, and we're introducing them to part of their history. So we're introducing them to rules and regulations in terms of how to play a game, but also then customs and practice. So it's not just material, they're not just material, it's not just wood.
Yeah.
It is also linking them or embedding them in a culture.
Yeah.
And why I think that has relevance for teaching in a university.
Economy,
Yeah, mostly it's not physical skills.
Right.
It's mostly mental skills or cognitive skills.
Concepts.
But let's think about it. If we take a fairly standard question in economics, in our own discipline, what is your opportunity cost to study in University College Cork? Now, in one way, this is words on a page. Ink on a page.
Yeah.
But in another way, it's an invitation into a culture. It's an invitation into the community of practice of how to think like an economist. Because opportunity cost is what we would call a threshold concept. It's probably one of the most important and fundamental concepts in economics. And if you can understand that an economist thinks about cost in a different way from an accountant, you understand how we think differently about the world around us. If we are asking our students this question, we can ask them a question to just answer it. Tell us what your opportunity costs are. Or we can introduce them to the fact that in answering this question, it's an invitation into the community of practice or culture of being an economist. It is embedded in the culture of how we think, how we act, the types of questions we ask, and the way we go about asking them and answering them. That is far richer than just words on a page.
So are you trying to say, so the invitation to guide students think as an economist is similar to when you teach hurling, it's an invitation to your daughter to behave as a hurling player.
Yes, to become a camogie player, which is much more than just the technical skill of being able to use a ball and a stick. It introduces you to obviously tactics, being able to play with your teammates, but also personal skills or capacities. The willingness to take risks, courage, the willingness to learn how to make mistakes,
and how to handle it,
and resilience, and ultimately that sense of pride of playing a game that is part of the culture of being Irish. The most, for most people in Ireland, right, the greatest pride that their local town has is when a male is playing for the hurling team or a female is playing for the camogie team. It's that sense of pride of place. Do we give our students a sense of pride of place? That when they read, or they're asked to read a principles book in economics, that you're introducing them or you're inviting them into a conversation that started hundreds of years ago, and that these men and women were trying to explore ways to think about the world, and you're introducing the student to this, and you're telling the student, we want you to be part of this community. That sense of pride in what they're doing, which would give them the resilience to go through the things that are hard.
To get the capacity with easier personality.
Exactly, to do it. And to realise that it matters. If it is just, like with hurling or camogie, if it is just technical skills we teach, I guarantee you we lose most of the players. Because over time, as the technical skills become harder, they lose motivation.
Yeah. So you're saying like when we teach students whatever skill, we need to tell them why.
Why? What's the rationale? Why does this matter? Why does it matter?
Yeah.
That, you know, the great thinkers in economics spend so long thinking about a simple term like opportunity cost.
Yeah.
So for instance, we take opportunity cost. The definition is very simple. Alternatives foregone. So things you can't do now that you're doing this.
Yeah.
But what I always point out to students, a very famous Nobel Prize winning economist, James Buchanan, in the 1960s, wrote an entire book on opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Not more complex problems, but actually it's a book called The Problem of Cost. And what he was questioning was, why does this concept matter so much to an economist? And if it matters so much, what does it mean for the way we look at the world? And how should we teach it? Now, he's a Nobel Prize winner. He thought it mattered that much. So when we start thinking about this, it can just be a definition that a student learns off,
Right.
or it can be an introduction into thinking differently.
Great.
Which is very similar
As
to
teaching.
instilling a love of a game, any game,
Yeah.
into a child.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.